Today's episode we're going to be adding to the Insignia repair playlist, and we're going to be replacing the intercooled turbo hose pipe. My car is the 2009 Cdti version. Be sure to watch the entire episode because sometimes I skip one step ahead just to give you a better understanding. A couple of flathead screwdrivers and masking tape, that's all you need. I'm filming two episodes today. One is the oil change and the other one is the boost pipe. So we're going to focus on the boost pipe first. This is what we're going to be replacing today. They split and they're quite difficult to spot a lot of the time. My one was actually okay, but because I drive in some crazy places and I never pay for breakdown cover, I just need stuff to work, which is why I do my own maintenance and learn about my own car. The link for this product is in the description. I went with the premium one, which was about £40. Once I've done that, I'll be using some liquid moly as well to keep everything running smoothly. With the boost pipe, there's a few variants of engines pipe that goes up to the throttle, and quite often they split up at the top, so you don't need to replace the whole thing. My understanding is you fit over a silicone pipe, which I'll put in the link below in the description, and you basically just attach them onto each other, so you don't need to take the whole thing apart. This is the version I have, where I've got the throttle here. I do have the EGR valve video cleaning, but yeah, this pipe here is plastic, and then it attaches just to here, and then it drops down through and comes out like here. We're going to skip one step ahead and then circle back. So this is removing the grills. So this is how it's held in place, and you'll need a flathead screwdriver to remove them, and the clips are on a slight angle. To remove it, you need to have a flathead screwdriver. So you want to prepare the area. I'm using the little paper masking tape around the surface to stop the paint being scratched. The black grille and the chrome does come off together in one piece, so you want to use the tape as close to the paintwork as possible and not covering any of the grille. Starting from the top left hand side, just start prying your way. Starting from the left hand side, just start using a flathead screwdriver to pry the clips away from the panel. Do this all the way around. The main clips are on the left hand side and the right hand side, and you're going to kind of slide it out to the left towards the center of the vehicle. And once it's removed, you can see where all the clips are held into place for those people who have skipped ahead. We're going to remove the plastic U-bend along with the pipe. Now on the plastic U-bend, there are two little black tabs that need to be aligned when you pull it back into the vehicle. But let me show you how the hose is put together. So you have the two ends. This is the top end, like so. And this is how it's held together. You can see where they clip on and hold open in place. So I'll be using a screwdriver to actually open them up, and then it's the same on the other side, like so. And then you'll be able to put them on, and then you'll be able to clip them. And the other side is just simply a Jubilee clip. On the plastic U-bend, it's a spring clip that's held it in place, so push it up and then spin it around and it will hold itself open a little bit. When you're watching the rotation, watch it kind of open itself up. There it goes, you see it pop, and then from there you can pull. It is pretty tricky to do, and there is not much space to work with because you can only fit your hand through the inside of the grill plate. With the bottom hose removed, it's time to do the top half. We're going to make a little bit more room for us to work with. 3 sliders, 1, 2 and 3. You get a bit more access around here where you can pry it open. Now we'll start from the top side again. Either side of the hose you've got the clips, so you just need to put your screwdrivers in and clip them out. And we're here. I'm not quite sure where the camera actually died, but yeah, I've pulled this out and I'm just trying to get the other side now. I'm quite high up, you see, so I think it's just here. While I was doing this, what I found was the clips kept going back in, so I got one side out only to get the other side out, and then it will clip back into place. So I ended up using 3 screwdrivers to pry them open and then pulled the pipe down. From this angle you can see a few screwdrivers going in place, and then I just pulled the pipe. Booyah! Let's pop this back on. So yeah, it's off now, and hopefully should just be able to put it through. Need 2 hands for this.
And we are going under. This pipe has a little mark on it, so it's in line. This one doesn't, so I'm just going to make it by basically lining them up. Like, I'm doing this one-handed. One sec. Let me line it up.
We need to remove that clamp from the pipe so we get the plastic U-bend. So my GoPro is in my mouth right now, so you kind of missed this bit, but basically ended up breaking it off. Apparently you can squeeze the two metal tabs together and it comes off. However, I found that didn't work for me, so I used a screwdriver and I wedged it between the metal clip and the rubber hose pipe and just kind of plied it off. And this is what the footage looked like. So let's skip ahead. With the metal tab removed, I then just simply pulled it off by putting my foot on the other bit of the hose and pulling up.
To make sure I put it on the correct way. So there's only one line on this plastic bit. I've drawn a line in pen. I've put the Jubilee clip at the top with the middle bit in. So I'm just going to tighten this up a little bit more so it's further away from the thread up here, because I'm going to heat this up. If you could like this video, this would be very helpful, thank you.
If you put the hose in boiling hot water, it will soften it up, making it easier to put back on.
Just need to find the line, put it back on. Got my Jubilee clip, which is where it was. That should go on a little bit easier. Okay. I don't know how much you managed to see of that. There we go, we're on. We've got the line and the marker that we made earlier, so I'm going to undo this, put it back on.
It's time to put the hose back in the car now, so the top bit will be fed through first, and then there's a clear run all the way to the top of the car. When the hose is about a third of the way up, you should be able to feel it with your other hand from the top of the bonnet. We're going to be clipping the hose back on at the top first, so guide it through to the top.
Don't know how much you saw of that, but I managed to put my arm all the way through, down here, and feed it through to the top, and then we have it just at the bottom down here.
When you're pushing the top bit of the hose back on, there is a plastic tab, which I'll zoom in a second, so you need to make sure that's aligned, because otherwise it won't go back on properly.
So it's a little slit. You see the little slider? And we just simply put this back in. There we go. Give it a little wibble. We're in. And then we just need to put this back in.
Slide the metal one in first and then the plastic one. So the metal one is at the front of the car, which I'm playing with right now, and then slide the whole thing in. But we're going to skip ahead.
It goes on this way. See where the longer lips are versus this way? It catches on. So we're aiming for the deeper ridge inside here.
We'll jump ahead and circle back. So the smaller side is on this left bit here, and the larger side is on the right with the spring clip. So the grooves are slightly different sizes. It was very difficult to put back in, so you need to line all the grooves up and then twist it back into its position for it to snap back into place.
I'll give you a close-up when we put this on, but they're very tricky to put on, so I'm probably going to have to speed this up just so it doesn't make the video too boring. So let's try and put the big ones on first. Oh, there we go, already off to a good start. So open them up. Hurt your hands, folks. Okay.
It took me about 20 minutes to put this clip back on, so it definitely takes a lot of patience. I used a flathead screwdriver a lot of the time to kind of help open up the clamp, and you need to make sure that it's on correctly, because if it's not, the pipe will come away from the housing unit. As you're pushing the plastic U-bend pipe back into the housing, you got to remember you have two plastic slots on the top and the bottom of it, and they need to be aligned. The way I managed to get the clip back on was over the U-bend first, and then I kind of shimmered it over with a screwdriver until the grooves were in line, and then the actual spring clip itself, you twist it around and it should clip back into place, and then I just kept playing around with it until it was in there. It was very hard to do.
Okay, and we're on.
like so. So you have the smaller ridge here, which a smaller channel is in, and then you have the deeper ridge, which is in here. So you have these 3 little grooves, that smaller one, deeper one, that's on. So give it a bit of a wiggle. Before we put the grill on, we'll start the engine and run it, and we'll do a few revs. If you hear a pop, that's because the unit's come off. So let's go ahead and try that. Although I'm happy with it, I've gave it a load of revs over 3,000. I'm just gonna put some zip ties on it just to make sure it doesn't come off, because there's a little bit of play in the spring clip. Although it's probably nothing to worry about. I do drive kind of off-road and go to some crazy places. So I'm just going to put them on. Just to give myself a little bit of peace of mind, I decided to put a couple of zip ties on there just to kind of secure it a bit more in place. Time to take the tape off. And you have the 2 kind of main ones up here. And then they are at an angle. So we're going to have to place them all in and then slide it across and give it a tap.
I want to try and keep my car going for as long as possible, so I add the liquid moly additive, which makes a big difference. Links below in the description.
Okay, we're all done. Panel's back in. That's definitely one of the trickiest jobs that I've done on the car. So now I'm about to do the oil change, so I'll put the link in the description for that. I would recommend getting a mechanic to do it. If you can't get them, then you know, good luck on your project, but I will leave the links in the description below.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being fans.